Hi everyone. I went away to Germany and forgot to do a packing video. So I'm gonna do an unpack video and also show you a couple of little like travel hacks and things that I do to with for, regarding like Ryanair and things like that. So anyway, um basically we went to Germany this past week. We were there for 4 days, gone from home for 6 days. We flew, yeah. We took the train down to Stansted on Monday afternoon. Spent the night at the Holiday Inn Express. I do not recommend. It was really terrible. In fact, we only got 2 hours of sleep the whole night because the heater was broken, and so the room was kept just getting hotter and hotter, and there was no way to open a window, and it was terrible. Um, anyway, but the Premier Inn was all booked up, which is where we usually stay. But anyway, that's besides the point. We were umming and ahhing about whether we should go or not because, coronavirus and things like that, and should we travel? But at the end of the day, we just really needed to go, needed to get out, so we went. And so I think I packed like 2 days before we left. So not even. I think I packed on Sunday, and because we left on Monday. So yeah, like I really didn't have a lot of time. Or did we even just? Well, now I can't remember. But anyway, I like packed at the last minute, so didn't do a video. And we opted to buy the tickets that included the overhead bin bag. That sounds like I'm talking about rubbish. You know what I mean? The overhead compartment bag. There we go. Compartment. That's a better word to use. We decided to go for this route because Tim wanted to take his DSLR. And by the time we put his DSLR into his like 20-liter backpack that fits under the seat, there really wasn't a whole lot of room left for clothing. I could fit all of my stuff into my bag, but there wasn't any extra room in my bag to take some of his stuff. And we weren't even packing very many items of clothing because where we're going had a washer dryer. So we were only taking like, I think it was 3 pairs of pants and things like that. But anyway, you'll see in a minute. But anyway, since he wanted to take his DSLR, we just decided, well, might as well use a suitcase. And then we thought, well, we might as well just take 2 suitcases because then we can play around and, have room to buy stuff. Because there's a lot of like food stuff only available in Germany that we miss. Couldn't bring home any of the liquids like the, Mezzo Mix, Schwip Schwap that we really enjoy because obviously you couldn't take extra liquids, but, we managed to bring home a couple packets of currywurst and lots of chocolate and couple of other things. Mostly, I think we brought back all consumables. I don't think we brought anything that was like a tangible thing, which is weird because usually I like go to Primark and buy an item of clothing. But this was a short trip that we just didn't do any shopping. Also, C&A is usually a place we visit while we're there, and they're like tights and things like that. But anyway, so yeah, so we paid for the to take a carry-on bag as well as your backpack, and then also doing that also then gave you the priority queue for getting onto the plane, which then meant that you got to get on the plane before everyone else did, which also guaranteed you a spot in the overhead compartment. And then you also got to choose your seat ahead of time without having to pay extra for it, which was also nice. So we did that, and then for an extra £7 each, just at Stansted, we were able to book priority or fast queue. I can't remember what they call it, fast access, something like that, but it's a quicker security line. Obviously, there's still all of the same restrictions for security that you have to go through. Like you have to, take your liquid bag out, take your electronics out, take your shoes off, all that good stuff. But the queue is always a shorter queue because you have to pay extra for it. And like, and I always try to book it when we have an early morning flight because then that gives us more time in the airport to get breakfast because the hotel doesn't have breakfast that early. We had to leave. Lewis left the hotel at like 4:30 in the morning. Breakfast doesn't start at 4:30 in the morning. So, you want breakfast. So we always do it with extra time to get food. And then also just like, you don't have that like feeling of panic if the queue for security is really long, or if say they flag your bag for some reason. And then you're like looking at your watch going, oh my God, it's almost time. And I'm still in security and I have to be at the gate and you don't have to rush. So an extra £7 is worth it to us. But anyway, that's been like 5 minutes of me talking about absolutely nothing and you staring at this. So Yeah, I shall move on. So my hack is this. This is a Drawstring Rucksack that I picked up in Cologne a couple years back, and inside of it is, well, gloves, but also one of my blankets. Basically, I like to travel with a blanket because the plane sometimes is cold, and because we do ride steam trains and it's chilly out and the windows are open, so sometimes it's cold on the train. So I like having a blanket from riding the trains, and also I just like having my own blanket when I travel. So I put my blanket into this, and then I hang this off the front of my rucksack, of my the handle of my suitcase, just kind of like looping these through the like baggage clip that I have. And I've never once been stopped by anyone with any airline to ask what it is or to be told that I can't have it. So obviously it doesn't look, I mean, it's squishy, so it's easy to tell that it's a blanket. But that is kind of like my hack. And then also, as I say, I had my gloves in here, and there's also a hat. Nope, that's the other glove. There it is. And then I also had a hat with me because the weather was slated to be cold and we wanted to have our outerwear with us. The funny thing was, like, neither one of us actually felt cold until the last day, because the humidity was low. Like, the temperatures were low, but the humidity was also low. And so you didn't really, I don't know, at least we didn't feel the cold as much as we would if it was that same temperature here. But anyway, so the thermals that we took, we didn't actually wear. So that was like the one item of clothing that we took along that we didn't use. I just had a thermal top with me that I could wear underneath my dress so I was cold. And then Tim had the full top and bottom set, and I we did not use them at all. So that's kind of a thing that we took that we didn't need. But on the other hand, we expected it to be cold, and it was. The temperature was cold. Like, it never got above like 8 degrees the entire time we were there, and the lows were like -5. So, I mean, it was cold. We just didn't feel it. We just didn't feel cold enough to need the thermals that we brought. So, anyway, did wear my gloves for all of like 30 seconds, and we wore our hats a couple times. So, anyway, so we've got two suitcases here, my suitcase and Tim's suitcase, basically because we mixed our stuff up in the suitcases, because when I was packing for us to go home, I was just like, shove whatever fits wherever, was kind of like my theory. So I've got both suitcases here, so I'm gonna, kind of try and go through both of them in as little time as possible. There's some things missing because obviously some items we needed because we got home 2 days ago. So like my hairbrush is not in here because I took that out because I needed it. We took out the dirty laundry because, I mean, you don't want to see that anyway because we washed it. The chargers aren't in here because everything is plugged in, and my electronics, because I've been using them or they've been plugged, they're plugged in and things like that. So there's other stuff that's missing. If I think of it, I'll point it out. But anyway, so my bag is the Five Cities bag, which is a hard case and has like the 4 wheels on the bottom, so it's like you don't have to tip it, which is nice. I love this bag. I've had this for, I actually think I got it when I got my citizenship, because the front of it has like the UK flag made out of London icons, except I covered it in stickers when Brexit happened. Because I was like, I don't really think I want people to stare at this anymore. So I cover with stickers instead. But anyway, so the inside has the one side that is completely flat, just like a big packing cube of its own, basically. And then the other side has the handle in it. So there's kind of like almost like 3 columns. It's a bit harder to pack on this side. I always usually pack like my small things in here, and I make it work. But anyway, so the front little pockets here, I just have Tim's toothbrush and soap dish, and then I have my soap dish and my toothbrush. So our toothbrushes are from Sonic Chic. I think they're about a tenner in Boots, something like that, but they're like little travel size electric toothbrushes. And if I can get open this thing with one hand. And then my soap dish is gross, because that's okay. Oh, geez, that's so gross. Apparently that got wet and stuck in that direction. I got these off of Amazon. I'll have to look them up for you, but basically they are liquid tight, so if there's liquid inside of here, it's still in there. I probably have to open up Tim's and air his out, because this one definitely needs to be aired out, because, oh, that's soggy. That is some soggy soap. So that's my shampoo, and that is my like face and body wash, which was actually like one of those like the sponge and the soap are one. It's actually really nice, and I like this. I also did have the conditioner bar. However, I threw that out because I didn't like it. It was from Ethique, which I'm sure is a lovely company, and they probably make really great conditioner bars, and people probably have really great luck with them, but I do not. And then Tim just has one bar in his, and it was L'Oreal. I think they called it like barber shop or something. I don't know, but it was like one of those bars of soap that does his hair. It was like a shampoo, body wash, face wash, and like a shaving soap all in one. I don't remember. It was about 4 pounds, I think. And again, there's the reason we were using that was to save on liquid space. Also because, well, I don't have his liquid bag up here, but we brought home like 5 containers of toothpaste because the toothpaste that Tim likes, they no longer sell it in the UK, but they sell it in Germany. So we buy a lot of it when we're in Germany. So, right. So in my clothing section, so this is my hair towel. I almost left it behind and then decided to bring it home after all because it's a cheap one that I got at Wilco's for like, I think it was like £1.50. Something like that. Basically, I took that along because I dyed my hair about 3 weeks ago. And I was afraid that it would leak onto towels, and I didn't want it to leak on the towels of our accommodation. So that's why I brought my own towel for that. This is my pajama top and my pajamas. We washed them before we left, so they're nice and clean, so they can go straight back into the drawer. This was from Amazon. It's a floral. They're really comfy. They call them like lounge pants. They're very wide legged and they've got pockets and things like that. They're really comfortable. And because basically, since we were wearing the same clothing over and over, as soon as we got back to the apartment in the evenings, I would change into my lounging pajamas to cook dinner and things like that. So that way I wasn't potentially getting my dress dirty. So that, and then the top was from Primark. Not sure if it's an actual pajama top or if it's like a regular top, but it's just like one of their gray t-shirts. So I've got that, and this is Tim's rugby top because he took a spare shirt along, so I had it in my bag just because I had room for it. And then this cube has all of our clean socks and underwear and things. So I'm pretty sure it's like minus obviously there was one dirty set for each of us that came home with us, and then we were wearing a set obviously, and then so I had a pair of wool tights that are clean now, pair of Tim's boot socks, that's Tim's boxers, there's another pair of tights for me, I had a pair of knee highs, and then I had a pair of footless tights because I wanted to bring the pink tights for the color, and they're footless, not, so I needed something, I needed to bring these knee highs because I only brought my knee high boots with me, so obviously you need socks inside the boots, so I brought those for that, and then there's a second pair of boxers for Tim, and then there is a pair of underwear for me, and then another pair of underwear for me that didn't make it into the bag, and that was pretty much all we took with us. So yeah, so 4 pairs of pants for each of us. Tim had 3 pairs of socks, and then I had 5 pairs of 4 pairs of tights plus 1 pair of footless tights. I probably had 1 extra pair of tights I had 2 pairs more than I needed. But as I say, the only pair of tights that didn't get worn at all was the pink footless tights. So those could have stayed behind, but they're small and didn't take up a lot of space. So, yeah. So now we're on to the other side of my suitcase. And I can't really, I'll have to push to the other side. So first I have a collection of plastic bags. These bags I bought while I was there. That Ziploc bag has been living in my bag for ages. And then I had some silicone plastic bags that live in my suitcase because they're handy for wet stuff that you need to come home with. or if you're like packing food while you're there for snacks and things like that. So I always just keep these in the bottom in my bag if I need them. And then that one I think had our face masks in it, which I will probably have to reuse for face masks. So I will leave that out. Also on this side, there we go. That works. So I brought my metal cup with me. I did not use it, but I had it. And stuck inside it are some fisherman friends, which I bought while we were there because my stomach was bothering me and I wanted mints. And then my little packet of tea. So there's a couple Earl Greys in there and some peppermint tea and whatnot. Also, we had other tea with us too, but we left it behind rather than bring it home because we're at an apartment. So we had some regular tea as well, but I always have Earl Grey with me. So I had that. I had my little 4-port USB charger that we used in the hotel down at Stansted because obviously we needed to charge all of our devices. And then also if we needed the extra USB ports for whatever reason, or if like the one that we had didn't work, we had the spare because I bought us each one of these. Well, it was a 2-pack off of Amazon. I think it was, I can't remember. They weren't very expensive, like maybe 14 pounds for the 2 of them. And it was a regular plug and then 2 USB ports with a Europe plug on the back. This will live in the suitcase because mostly we obviously travel to Europe mostly. If we're not going to Europe but going away, then I'll just take it out of the suitcase and usually just like leave it on the bed or something like that. But yeah, this worked out really well for us while we were away because our tablets could be plugged into the regular plug because those weren't USB devices. And then we had the 2 ports to charge phones and Kindles. So it worked out great. And then I had a spare plug again, just in case it was needed, which was great because then we were able to move one of the tablets into the living room to watch stuff in the living room and then not have to take the whole plug along. And then also if I needed to plug this in, I had a plug. I also do have a 4-port USB charger that's at home. Well, it's here. I mean, I'm at home now, but that has the interchangeable plugs and we usually traveled with that. But because we now have tablets that aren't USB chargeable, I thought these would work out better, and they did. So that was perfect. I have a bath puff instead of a sponge. I took some dice along. I also took some like Yahtzee scorecards along. So if Tim and I got bored in the evening and we wanted to play dice games, we'd have some dice to play with. So, and also because I always take dice everywhere I go. I bought some packs of tissues while I was there because I forgot to pack tissues. So I had those. I had my glasses case with me because I always put my glasses in a case at night. So I had my case with me. And then I had a packing cube, which is full of just like random little items. Because that's one thing that I kind of have started to do. I guess it's a sort of a hack. Is that I've started to use my packing cubes for things other than clothing. Excuse that. I'm trying to unzip it. Sorry about that. I probably should have paused you. And also, my smallest of packing cubes fits perfectly in the little column here. So inside this cube, I had a headset. This was has a microphone on it, and that was just because I thought I was supposed to have a conference call, which then wound up getting canceled. But I brought this along because then if we had the conference call, then Tim wouldn't have to listen to it. But then it got canceled, so I wound up not using these after all, but that's all right. I had some Dettol 2-in-1s. Those were actually in my backpack for the most part. But I had some Dettol wipes with me. I skipped 2 days of vitamins. So that had all my vitamins in it. My prescription. This is a purchased item. I bought some bath salts. Because I like the bath salts that have like the menthol stuff in them and the eucalyptus and whatever. And so like I buy them in Germany because I've not seen them here. Really. So I buy those. A makeup remover pad, which I did not use because I didn't wear makeup at all until like one day I wore makeup. This tin has some antihistamines in it. This is a grocery bag, which I actually bought while we were there, but I always keep a grocery bag in my suitcase as well. So this one will live in my suitcase now. I have a mask because, basically the Germany requirements were FFP2 masks, which are paper disposable. No, they're like cotton or something, but they're disposable masks and they're like the really good high filtering ones. So the fabric masks were not required, so I just threw it in there to get it out of the way. Black thread in case I needed to sew anything. A pack of wipes that I bought while I was there. I can't remember why I bought those. I needed them for something. This is also wipes. Again, I can't remember why I thought I needed wipes with me, but I brought wipes with me. My jewelry case to put my jewelry in at night. It's actually filled right now with some hair ties that I bought, so I have to go put those away downstairs. And a necklace. But basically, I found these super tiny hair ties, which it was like, I think €1.30 or something like that in the drugstore. But I just thought those are perfect because my hair is so thin. I have such tiny braids when I braid my hair, and like the regular size hair ties look so big. So I bought some of these because they're little. So those have to go downstairs. And then my bag of non-liquid toiletry stuff. So this top bit has... Oh, and I bought us 2 magic towels for when we travel again because I couldn't find our usual washcloths that we travel with. So Tim had a full-size one and I just had the bath puff. But I like traveling with these because they're fun. So I bought myself a tiger one and Tim a dog in a plane. So then this has like some constipation medication just in case that was needed. Some Ricolas and things like that, some paracetamol, some acid reflux medicine. I think I'm not going to open it, but the middle part has like a nail scissor, a nail clipper, tweezers, things like that. And then this bottom one doesn't have anything in it right now, but when we went on the outward bound trip, it had my toothbrush in it because it fit perfectly. But because I used my toothbrush on the last day, I had already packed this, so it wound up not being in that. And then my other little mini cube full of randomness. So in this, I had my just put my travel razor in the case. I don't usually use the case for it when I travel, but I stuck it in the case this time because I wasn't having it in my toiletry bag, so I didn't want it to snag on anything. So have that, another pack of tissues because they fit, a couple things that I bought, some little foamy samples. One is a regular body wash soap and one is a shampoo. And I thought that would be kind of fun to give those a try because I've heard a lot of good stuff about foamy. So like that. I also picked up this body butter, which I really like. It's really nice. Solid body butter. It went through security, no issues whatsoever. The other thing I will say is it applies better to like damp skin. Using it on dry skin, you can still use it, but if you use it on damp skin, you actually like get that stuff that you can like rub in. So really nice. I like that a lot. I also bought some eyeshadows. It's a long story. Basically, I was like, I'm not wearing makeup on the trip, and Tim was like, oh, okay, and I don't know. Anyway, so even though like he was, so we just had this weird conversation about like wearing makeup and not wearing makeup to impress and things like that, and then I just finally decided, you know what, I feel like wearing eye makeup, so yeah, I bought eye makeup, and then these 3 little bath things that I bought. A whole bunch of ginger things in case of stomach aches. This actually had some rehydration tablets in it in case one of us got sick and needed it. And then this is my wild deodorant sample. You can see how much of it I used just on, there's that much of it, just on the 5 days that I used it. So yeah, I think it'll maybe last one more trip and then it'll be gone. But I'm going to save it for our next trip. Rather than using it on a local trip, I'm going to save it and use it on our next flight because it takes up less space in my suitcase. And then, yeah, that was everything that was in my suitcase. And then in Tim's suitcase, things that were mine, I think it's just my Turkish towel, I think. Yeah, so because we decided to take suitcases, we decided to take our Turkish towels along because there was space for them. So my Turkish towel was in Tim's suitcase along with my slipper socks and my thermal shirt. And then what's left in here is Tim's thermals and his Turkish towel. And that was the only thing of mine that was still in his suitcase because everything else has already come out. And then in my rucksack, that I took along, which is this monstrosity here. This front pouch is full of the FFP2 masks. So those all have to come out. And basically what we've decided is that we're going to save these masks for our next trip to Germany in case they're still a requirement, because they're not a requirement in the UK. In fact, I don't think we don't have any masking requirement in the UK, but we're still wearing our cloth washable masks. But since these were the requirement in Germany for public transportation and a lot of the places that we went in, I bought them off of Amazon, and we decided that we would just hang on to these and store them for our next Germany trip, so that we, as I say, had them and didn't have to buy them again. This smaller of the two compartments acted like a secondary purse for me, basically, like a secondary handbag. So I had this bag in here, which had some of my tablet accessories. It doesn't anymore because my tablet is now in use again, but I had my mouse and I had my stylus and like spare cables in that. This little pouch has Mini Bev and Mini Picard in it. I only took their picture like twice because it was a really short trip, and there wasn't really a whole lot to pose them with, and because there's still lots of COVID restrictions, so I didn't really feel like fumbling with getting them out and getting their picture and things like that, because it just made sense to me. And then the other items in here were my sunglasses, my wrist brace, another packet of tissues, because it was a 6-pack of tissues, my Betron noise canceling earbuds for, I didn't actually use these, so that was another, didn't need it, but took it anyway. What else is in here? My pen, mobile office set, so it is a black pen, a blue pen, a pencil, and a highlighter. I had a notebook with me as well, but the notebook is still in here. There's a spork in this container. These came off of Amazon, and it's a spork without a serrated knife edge on one of the forks, so that way it went through security with no problems. Because this way you can like pick up yogurt or whatever and take it on the go and things like that. And also we used those the first night in the hotel room to eat dinner. So yeah, this drawstring bag had all of my cables and chargers and things like that in it. So now it doesn't have anything in it because obviously I had to plug everything in. That was snacks for the way home. There's another pack of tissues in there. Oh, bloops. My liquid bag, which has some of Tim's liquids in it because his liquid bag is full of previously mentioned toothpaste. Like I said, we like to do. I have no explanation for that. We like the toothpaste. So my liquids bag, which has some of Tim's stuff in it. And then I took my notebook along, which I actually cut the page out of my diary. I'm actually quite, I was kind of pleased with myself when I did this. Also my prescription. Sorry, you don't need to see that. I cut the page out of my diary, for the week and pasted it into my notebook because I was like, I don't want to take both my diary and my notebook. So that way, I could write stuff down. I didn't really need to write anything down in the end in here, but we did write some train times and things like that down. So the notebook was used, but I also could have just taken some scrap paper along. Oh well. And then in the back pocket here is a big folder, which has a spare mask, my COVID vaccine passes, so I'm going to turn that over because, an extra copy of my COVID pass, and, can't remember what else, and an extra copy of Tim's COVID pass, because what we did was we each carried a spare of the others, just in case we lost our printout, and the reason we printed stuff out was, in case the phones died. That's really the only reason, because there are some places that you still need to use show your COVID pass to get in, which I will probably explain in another video, because now I'm surrounded by stuff that we packed, and this video was a half an hour long, and it should have only been like 20 minutes. So if you got to the end, congratulations, thanks. Bye.